Me, I mean, for lunch, I can take some fast food. I can take pizza, burgers. But if I'm going to go to a specific spot, Murphy's Bar and Grill would probably be at the top of my list.
Yeah, Murphy's is great. You know what? I discovered avocado toast recently, and I am very much into. I make my avocado toast at home, but if you go to breakfast at the Pagoda Floating Restaurant, they have a wonderful avocado toast. You can have a side of an egg and other things too. It's very good. But anyway, my lunch go-to is it changes from week to week. But this week, avocado toast it is.
Well, we're going to just dive right in. And my first question is a lot of people wondering, how did the Sports Animal show originate? How did it start? And did you two know each other before the show started?
I knew Gary. I didn't like him much. And then the show started with, it was myself, Gary Dickman, and the guy we call the Pete Best of the Sports Animals. And that's Steve Murray, who now works for Rocket Mortgage in Michigan. A good friend, good guy. But we started off just because we had a consultant that said that we should be on the air. And, so we started off with three guys and then quickly found out that three guys was just too many. And then we just started, just had me and Gary.
Mm-hmm. Okay. How about you, Gary? Did you know Chris very well at that time?
Well, I knew him kind of working on the AM station in the morning show with Bobby, and I knew Chris, seeing him in the hallways. And for years and years, I thought he was from Pittsburgh because he was a big Steelers fan, still is, obviously. I didn't realize for some reason he's locally born and raised, and I just thought he was from Pittsburgh. Always got along with him well, and I think our chemistry meshed right away. I think we got better as time developed because people tell us still today, you guys were a lot better now than you were in the early days. You weren't good in that first year or two.
Somebody wrote about us on Yelp years ago, and it said, that guy Chris, he thinks the louder he is, the funnier he is. And that's true today.
Let me, do I have this right? Is it like approaching 15 years since the show started?
Who knows?
May 31st. Yes, I think we're in our 16th year. We started, I believe, in 2006. On May 30th or 31st, I believe it was that Memorial Day week. So we're up there. We're up there.
Hey, so it's your 15th anniversary.
Yeah, you know what? You run into a struggle though. You're trying to evolve though. The radio show's got to always be evolving, and that's what we're trying to be conscious of. So you can't listen. Hopefully, folks don't listen to the show now and go, you know what? I could have listened 5 years ago and I listened to the same thing. So whether we are or not, we're trying to evolve.
Yeah, and that was actually part of my next question is, you guys been around for a while. What's the secret to the show's success?
Not many people do what we do.
Mm-hmm.
I think we try to be ourselves, kind of talking what Chris was just saying a minute ago. We're not trying to be people we're not. We're not going to be X and O's guys for football for 3 hours. We'll talk about X and O's, but we'll talk about our personalities, our lives, our observations, and how we view sports and just be ourselves.
But if somebody actually was competing and wanted this job, we would have been gone 10 years ago.
Usually after the show, Chris will send me a text telling me how awful I was and putting me down and getting on me. I'm just joking. I get that question a lot. People are surprised that we actually get along away from the show. We don't talk very often away from the show. He's really busy. We have our own lives. He's married. I'm single. But we definitely get along well. We do have some similar interests. And we can talk about a lot of things besides sport, but we do get along really well. But people are surprised to hear that.
Yeah, we get along well, but I like to play golf. Gary likes to not play golf, and Gary likes to he loves to go to every sporting event he can. I go to the ones that I have to go to, and I love him. I love him more than anything. So we're fine that way.
Okay. Do you think that's another secret to your success is that you're both so different and maybe your strength is you guys play off each other's strengths?
I think that's a big part of it. And I don't try to be somebody I'm not. And I kind of play off of Chris. I let him kind of set the stage, set the tone, so to speak. And I know when he's on a roll, I'm going to try to let him continue and not try to interrupt or try to change the subject and just feed off of him. I think we do feed off of each other pretty well, and we definitely have good chemistry, which we should after all this time. I don't think I can talk about it here.
Moment. We're waiting for that moment still, I guess.
There was a moment in our first, second, or third year where Chris said something, had a little bit of a typo, so to speak, said something that didn't actually match. We laughed so hard. It was about Jason Rivers coming out of a football game in Las Vegas. And we laughed so hard. We went to a break. When the break was over, we had to go to another break because we were laughing so hard. We were both crying in the studio. I don't think I can repeat the exact words now.
What did I say? You can say we're not governed by the FCC on this. What did I say?
Okay, well, he had a little slip of the tongue. We were talking about Jason Rivers and his injury history. And Chris said, hey, yeah, remember when we were in Las Vegas 2 weeks ago and he came out of that girl early?
I said he came out of that girl early.
Instead of the game, and we laughed so hard for 5-6 minutes. I went to a volleyball match that night, and I had people coming up to me left and right asking who the girl was.
Oh, no. There's been a lot of those. I think those are the funniest things is we just say something by accident. It's like a verbal typo, yeah. And we have them pretty much every day.
Okay. Let's see. Football Fanatic is asking, oh, this is a good question. Will you be doing your pregame show, football pregame show from on campus this year?
That's one of the options. The other is close by the close by the campus, and we're still working those out, and we'll probably have an idea in a couple of weeks of exactly where we're going to be.
I think we've learned to be kind of honest about these things nowadays. As much as I do love the Jets, and I got my Zach Wilson shirt on my trip. I don't know why I bought that. I've been gone in 3 years. But the Pittsburgh Steelers are a better team than the Jets. We have to be real. We try to be honest as much as possible. And as much as I love the Jets, I actually like the Steelers. But the Jets will be good in hopefully a few years. Maybe go to a Super Bowl in 30. But the Steelers are better this year.
Here's what we can agree on is both offensive lines are horrible.
Yeah.
Do you agree, Chris, that Big Ben is kind of on his way down?
Yeah, I'd actually wanted him to leave last year. I think it's time to start rebuilding. You know what? I think that Najee Harris is going to take a lot of pressure off of him. The Steelers are a running team. That's their identity. You know, I think the offensive line actually will be a little better from what people are saying if Trey Turner can get back to what he was 2 years ago rather than what he was last year. So we'll wait and see. And if not, I'll just pick another favorite team like I always do.
Yes. Wow. For me, I'll just give a few, and I could probably think of more if I thought longer, but I'll go with John Calipari, who has spent a lot of time over the years with us, Jay Billis from ESPN, Richard Deitch, who's a sports media expert, used to be with Sports Illustrated, now with The Athletic. But when we've had guys from UH, some of the great athletes over the year, whether it's Anthony Carter, Carl English, Colt Brennan over the years, some of those guys stand out to me.
I think when we had Michael Jordan on, that was pretty cool. We had Arnold Palmer on. You know, that was nice for him to stop by in person in the studio. And Steph Curry. Steph Curry was fun. I'm totally lying. You know what? You know who one of my favorite guests is? We haven't had him on in a while. Is Brad. What was Brad from Yahoo Noise?
Brad Evans.
Brad Evans. Just Google Brad Evans. It's a great personality. Love having him on. I think Brad Evans was a lot of fun. I enjoy some of the Jerry Foltz from the Golf Channel. I really enjoy talking to him. And yeah.
For me, I mean, I hope so. I don't think anybody knows for sure. Based on how they finished last year, they should contend. What exactly that means, I'm not sure. San Jose State is still loaded. They've got their quarterback back. We saw what they did last year. But I would expect in year two with Todd Graham, we'll at least contend. Whether we win it or not, that's another story.
I'll answer as Stephen A. Smith. I had a personal conversation with Todd Graham just the other day. I sat in his office, and he told me to look out for his transfer from Georgia and a great pass rusher as well. He said, Chris, he looked me right in the eye as I sat in his office in my personal meeting with him. And he said, Chris, we're going to be good. So I'll go with, I think we're going to be good. I think that, if you look at Phil Steele and stuff like that, I mean, our three best players, according to Phil Steele, are all on defense, and that's a good thing. So I think we'll contend. I really do. Are we going to win? Who knows? But I think we're going to be in the upper echelon.
Wow. Lifetime season tickets. I mean, there's a whole bunch. I would probably maybe go with the New York Knicks first. New York Islanders and hockey, the best sport there is. Those would be my top two choices. Of course, they cost so much money. That's one of the reasons I would want them.
Okay, but you can only choose one.
Just one.
I'll go with New York Knicks. That's where all the cool celebrities hang out.
Okay, what's the question again?
If you could score like lifetime season tickets for any team in any sport, what would you choose?
The water park.
That's a sport.
Okay, that works.
Hey, a season passes, they have them. Watching the Immaculate Reception live on television when we lived in Foster Village, that's right across from Radford, lived in Foster Village, black and white television, holding the antenna so that my dad could get a clear picture while he watched. For some reason, they showed the Steelers a lot that year in 1974, probably because they're so unbelievable. But my dad went nuts. He went crazy. And the Steelers after that were always on television, just like kids who grew up from 2000 to 2010. A lot of them are Patriots fans, right? Same thing. A lot of people who grew up in the 70s, the Steelers, 70s and 80s was all about the Steelers. So that's how.
Okay. Who do you think, who's your all-time favorite Steeler?
Oh gosh, it's, I'm going to say Franco Harris, but Jack Lambert is right behind.
Okay.
And Polamalu.
Franco Harris, he's the guy that used to run out of bounds all the time.
That's why he played for so long. I think we both die after about a minute and a half.
Yeah, we'll both withdraw.
It's kind of like Rocky 2. They both kind of fall down at the end. One of us might get up a la Sylvester Stallone, but probably not.
Mm-hmm.
I would probably take a step backwards and pull a Conor McGregor and break my leg without any contact.
Ouch. Okay, maybe we could arrange for this somehow. Hey, that's it.
Gary's not in my weight class.
Hey guys, thank you very much for joining us today. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Thank you guys for watching. Aloha.